Hey, welcome back to the channel. So, in order to start using databases, data, SQL Server in particular, we need to install two tools. One is SQL Server itself, and the second is SQL Server Management Studio, which is what you'll use to interact with the databases. Let's get started. So, the first thing you want to do is go over to Microsoft's SQL Server download site. I'll include the link in the description. This gives you everything, all the different versions of SQL Server. What you're going to want to use is SQL Server Express. Today, the current version is SQL Server 2022. You can see up here they're starting to advertise for 2025. That's not available yet. There's all kinds of different versions. If you wanted to run something on-prem or in the cloud or the developer edition, SQL Server Express is a totally free edition for smaller systems. Absolutely perfect for what we're going to do over the course of the videos. So you just go ahead and click download now and let it do its thing. Okay, it's downloaded, and I opened up what the file it put on my machine. Opened up this, I can go ahead and hit basic. I'll accept. I've signed my life away to Microsoft plenty of times now. Install location is perfectly fine. And go ahead and hit install. And again, just let it run. So once it finishes installing, it'll tell you everything is done. You want to make note of this localhost / SQL Express. Mine says 01 because I had another version installed on this machine. That's really what you'll want to know. Keep that in mind. This part right in here. We'll need that next when we connect to Management Studio. Conveniently, install SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio, is right here. So we can go ahead and click on that. That link opens up another page, SQL Server SSMS install. Really, buried down here, there's this download SSMS 21. You can go ahead and click on that, and it will go ahead and install it. It's pretty straightforward. So once that's installed, you kind of go ahead and start menu of choice, look up SQL Server, Management Studio. There we go. Let it go ahead and load. It just takes a few seconds. Once that's loaded, you'll see a screen like this. If it didn't pop up automatically, connect database engine. If you recall, we had the localhost, SQL Express 01 in my case. I want to use Windows authentication, meaning it will log me in using the same credentials that are built on the machine. Hit connect. Interesting. Right off the bat. Now what's this mean? The certificate chain was issued by an authority that was not trusted. Really simple fix. You just want to trust your server certificate. It's one of those little gotchas when you're just running within your machine, your local machine, for some training. Click trust, hit connect, boom, pops right up. Now in a future video, we'll go deep into pretty much what all of these mean. What you really want to understand here is you have a bunch of databases. Obviously we haven't created any, which we can do. Click on new query here. That's one of the key points. Opens up a window where you can now issue commands against this SQL Server. So SQL Server is now a service running on your local machine. Management Studio is the interface to that service. And you can do something like create database SQL Professor. All the defaults are fine when you're just starting out. We'll go deep into all of the different options and all of the different configurations in time. Create database, hit this little execute button. You can also hit F5 on your keyboard. It will execute that command, and it's created a database. All right? Of quirk of the system, right click, refresh. Look at that, it created a database. If you can open this up, you have all of these different options. Tables, we haven't created any tables yet, so there's a real bunch, essentially some folders for some internal information and nothing else. You can go back over here. You don't want to run that command again, so you could delete it. I'll comment it out with 2 dashes, and now create table sample table 1. Now you have to provide some columns. So let's make just real simple. Column 1 is an integer. Create table, table name. So you can see it, a comma separated list of columns. Column 2 might be a floating point number. See, IntelliSense popped up when something was wrong and then it went away. Now, because this is commented out, I could just run this whole thing just by hitting execute. Let's say I forgot to comment it out. What would I do? I can highlight what I want to execute and then just execute that little section that happens automatically. Kind of run selection, if you will. Command, complete it successfully. Again, right click, refresh, give it a second to think. Oops, didn't create it. Very interesting. So what happened here? It tells me what database I'm operating in this little window. And you can see I'm in the master database. Well, what's that? That's one of these system databases here. It contains a lot of SQL Server configuration information. It also are databases in their own right. And you can create user objects, if you will, in these. Highly not recommend it, but that's what we did because we were in that context. So let's go ahead, just select that. You can hit delete. Okay to delete it. Goes away. We can now close these, keep things nice and tidy. And now, 2 choices. I can go right in here to SQL Professor. And I can go ahead and now highlight, execute, right click, right click, refresh. There's my table. I can also, let's say, within SQL, use SQL Professor. That's the command to say execute subsequent commands inside of the context of that other database. So let's create sample table 2. And if I was over here in master again, select, execute, right click, refresh. You noticed it moved me over into SQL Professor, and now I have 2 tables. So we've installed SQL Server, we've installed Management Studio, we've shown how to create tables, and did a little bit, just scratched the surface of Management Studio. We'll get into all of that in more detail in subsequent videos. Subscribe to follow along. Thank you.